Hey guys. So it's like, it's Evercast time.
What are you talking about? It's not 10:15 yet.
Indeed. Well, welcome everyone to the Evercast.
Did we just start that fast?
We did. Just like that.
What channel?
Well, hello, and welcome to the Evercast, your weekly dose of Evercade goodness. I'm one of your hosts, Rich. Yeah, that's right. I'm here in the hosting seat today. And it is off doing
fired Ed after 1 week.
Yeah.
Yes, but yet we fired Ed, but yet we're still on his channel.
Yeah, we continued his channel. We just took over his channel.
I'm here, of course, with the Ever-Canadian Pete himself. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, people? I'm surprised most people were impressed with my EDF run, my 1 credit run.
That's pretty cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and of course we got Crow. What's going on, man?
Woo!
Yeah, there you go. See, you did the sound effect for me.
Nice.
Well, because your sound effects not working. Because I don't know what you do.
No,
do you reset your settings every week?
No, I just keep forgetting to try and fix it. I could probably fix it right now. I just don't want to screw anything up because it always does something unexpected. So
Right.
I'm not gonna mess with it.
Yeah, I remember the last time you tried it. It's like your mic went out for a while, and then you were
I changed something and I don't remember how to change it back, and then I can't find the instructions that I used the first time to set it up. So, and then everything else, every time I find something else, it says some way else to do it. So I'm like, and then I'll figure it out within the next week, and then we get to like Saturday morning, and I'm like, oh, I don't have time to figure this out now.
Yes.
So
that is how that goes sometimes. So
like I could probably try and fix it, but who knows what I'll break.
Exactly. So let's go on and hop in here to the chat. We got Dan Ruff in the house. We got Dan Nastic in the house. What's going on? We got Lloyd R. Jim. We got Crimson Cross. We got Nick the Toy Collector. He said he's here. Then we start the show. He did. He showed up right at 11 a.m. But as we all know, the show arrives precisely when it means to. We got Sergeant Bilby here. What's going on? Snake Eater 75. Ian Hobbies. What's going on? Skeletrex is here. Phantom Fiction's here. Kid Guzzy in the house. What's going on? Rob Taylor is in the house. RMGB TV is also here. And I think we have caught up already, which is great. So, he's been playing Sifu, which is ridiculously fun. According to RMGB TV, I've heard that game is pretty good.
Is that the one where every time you die, your character gets older?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I actually watched a stream on over on Original Next Level Gaming. Mike, he had that on Xbox. I think it hit Game Pass or something like that. And he played it on launch weekend. And I watched him play it for a while. It's like a wild game. Kind of basic, like your normal kind of arcadey kung fu game. But yeah, that mechanic where when you get knocked down, you get older. It turns into some wild craziness as you go along the stages, which is neat. So yeah, definitely a kind of cool one. So how was everyone's week? Was it just another fun-filled week for you guys?
Oh, it depends on what your definition of fun is.
So how was yours?
Well, there's just a whole bunch of stuff, but like one of the highlights had to be when the toilet handle broke.
Oh no!
And basically what happened was like the stick that lifts the chain kind of bent so much that you can't flush. So I was like, okay, well, I ordered a new one off Amazon. I ordered it specifically because it would come the next day.
Yeah,
it still hasn't come.
Oh no!
It's coming today. So the whole week I've had the tank off the toilet and I've just been flushing it manually. That's just one. That's just one of the. And also my air fryer got recalled.
Oh man,
That's another thing.
It's adventures in homeownership, right there.
And then there's a whole fiasco with upgrading, phones and stuff. So that's a whole long story that I'm not going to get into. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild times when you have those things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a wild one over at work too. Like all sorts of wild stuff has happened over in my neck of the woods. Lots of busy stuff, but cool because I was able to get my hands on some cool new toys to deploy out to people. And it's always fun when you get like the new stuff and you got to like open the boxes and do all the setup and like that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I dig that kind of thing.
Opening boxes is fun.
That's right. What about you, Pete? How was your week?
2 words: Guild Wars. The first Guild Wars.
That's right. Yeah, you've been all over that game.
Playing a 17-year-old.
A
17-year-old game has been quite fun. Going back and having nostalgia playing that game. It's been quite interesting on my deck, figuring out controls for it. Mm-hmm. Got everything. It runs smooth as butter. But yeah, I'm really enjoying kind of playing a game that I never got to play way back in the day. But yeah, that's kind of been dominating my gaming sphere, I would think.
Nice. Yeah, and I used to play that way back in the day, and I thought that game was pretty awesome. And yeah, I mean it does spike pretty fast, but it's always a game that I'm interested in revisiting, especially if there's a community again, because it did kind of like it did kind of dip out a little, and then there was like not a lot of people. So
yeah, there is still people playing it though. On average, on Steam, there's like 50 people playing it, and it seems like they're all spread out over 50 different towns. It's kind of interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, that might be worth a look for me, but I gotta get a Steam copy because I had an original box copy from back in the day, and it's gone now. I don't even know where that is. So yeah, might have to check that out. Crimson Cross, loving the intro music, and also getting some Recnum Souls Adventure. That's one of the ones on Indie Heroes too, right?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so. I was like, that sounds familiar. Oh yeah, that's Indie Heroes too. Which I haven't looked at yet.
Yeah, I still haven't cracked my box open yet. That's happening this weekend. Well, actually, right after this show, I think I'm gonna crack this one and start playing, because that was exactly the intent last week. But then I wound up having to go somewhere else right after the show, so I didn't get the chance to do that. And then, ironically enough, as I was waiting for the Funstock order, I did pull the trigger and ordered one on Best Buy.
Oh, there you go. You got the pegless one.
Yes, I do have a pegless one, but it showed up the day after I got mine from Funstock. So I was
that reminds me, I did get this too.
Oh yeah, you got the plushie? Nice.
I kind of threw it up there and kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, I threw mine back in the bag.
And I bought the carrying case too, so
nice. Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a couple of those because I actually wound up getting one in some kind of bundle somewhere, and then I got another one when I bought. Somebody sold me their purple edition, and then they sent it to me in a case like this. So that was pretty neat. So I have 2 of those.
You didn't know you were getting when you got it?
I think he said he had a case, but I was just figuring, maybe he has a third-party case or something like that. When I opened the box, I was like, oh, sweet, it's the official one. So that's neat. Hey, what's going on, Casey? And Jason, what's going on? And Robert's here too. Hey, what's up? And Bilby here is playing Link's Collection. Says Crystal Mines 2 is brutal compared to Boulder Dash. I can probably agree with that. It gets a little crazy in that game. But today is not the talk for Link's Collection 1. And because there's not a lot of news, in fact, actually, there's like no real news at all in the Evercade world.
Good news.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone's doing their stuff. I mean, we're waiting for the what is it, the March 5th update. So by the time next? So they wouldn't know until the 5th. So it won't be this next Evercast on the 4th. It'll be the 11th that we'll probably start talking about like shipments for the LEs and all that kind of stuff. And they said they might have another thing for us by then. but who knows? I know that they've been hard at work too on some of those, like doing all the firmwares and updates and stuff like that. So you never know that there might be some cool stuff coming out along the pipeline next week. But all quiet on the Evercade news front this week. So I figure we can do some Q&A and that kind of stuff. But before we do that, we can jump into the Intellivision Collection too, because we do talk about games sometimes, and that is something we can do. There it is, right there. It's Intellivision Collection 2. We're gonna try to see if we can get through the top row today, and do all of them on the top row. That's Auto Racing, Cloudy Mountain, Hover Force, Motocross, Mountain Madness, Super Pro Ski, and Reversey.
That's how many games is that? Isn't that like six games?
6 games.
That seems like too many games to get through. And
I mean, if we do like 10 minutes a piece, we could get through this. I mean, some of them are going to get real. I'm pretty sure some of these are going to go real quick.
I'm pretty sure the ones you think are going to go really quick are going to go really long.
That's true. Oh, Ryan did a quick poll about an update for the Atari carts. Wait,
really?
Was it on Discord, Ian? Is it on Discord? Because I'm going to go. I'll go check that right now.
Yeah, that I hope he's talking about Collection 1 and Collection 2.
I don't know. Where is
even Atari Arcade one needs updates.
Yeah, is there a general? Is it in general? No, I don't see it on there. He said yeah on Discord. Is it in the announcements? Nope. Just there. You got to tell me where it is. Tell me where it is in the Discord. General, I believe. All right, cool. And then say Ryan, huh? Ryan doing a poll. See, the problem with trying to search out in the general Discord is that there's a billion people in there. So let's see. Could affect current saves, he says. On this thing. So if I can find it, or if somebody can point me to kind of where it is, maybe we'll dip into that and take a look at actually what that poll says. So that's interesting. Yeah, that would be cool. I would also like to participate in said poll and render an opinion. So we'll see what's going on there. But yeah, let me know, Ian, if you can find out exactly where it is, and then we'll try to dip in there. But for now, let's dip into some games. So we're going to start, like I said, with Auto Racing. We'll add this up here. This one is, I don't know, I kind of like this one, just because it kind of like flexes a little bit of the power of the Intellivision in a small way. Like you've got like almost like pre-polygons and like shadow effects and that kind of stuff going on in the background, where in a lot of Atari 2600 games, and that just simply doesn't really happen. Especially not when Auto Racing came out. That was like way back. Was it late 70s, early 80s, right? Or 80, 81 was Auto Racing?
I can't remember. I don't have my. Well, I can look up my spreadsheet, but
yeah, we could try to go right back to the beginning here too.
No, it doesn't have the date. It has the date I played the game. It doesn't have the date of the game.
Does the title screen have it though? 1980, right there. Yeah.
Does it?
Yep, right there.
Oh, right on the title screen of the game itself.
And then the copyright is 1979. Yep, for the game. So I mean, again, I think it's pretty impressive. To see that, for back then, right? If you transport yourself to what you could see on an Atari 2600, and then you look at this, it does actually look better, right? Regardless of whether or not you think it could, play better or feel better, that right away it hit me when I was playing this one. And this one was one of those ones that I didn't have at my uncle's house. My uncle didn't have this game. So it wasn't until much later when I finally got my own Intellivision that I was able to see it. But even then, I was still impressed. I was like, wow, actually, that looks pretty good. And as far as controls go, this is one of those examples where, yeah, the D-pad will work for you, but it is also apparent that the control stick or the disc on the Intellivision controller was actually made for this kind of thing. So
I don't really
Yeah.
like this game.
I actually was this game I found a little bit frustrating until I figured out the steering, and then the game I found it way more fun than I thought it would be. So again, it just comes down to having to understand how the steering works, because it doesn't work how you think it would work.
right.
And there's actually who said this? Kesey says, "What steering version do you guys like on auto racing?" There are two different steering versions of the cartridge. You don't really know. You can't really know which version you have by looking at the cartridge. If you have the original manual that came with the game, you could tell that way. But other than that, the only way you really know is you pop it in and have to play it. It has something to do with the direction that you're facing and the direction that you're going to push on the D-pad, whether or not. I think it's been a while since I played this, but I think the version we have on the Evercade is the one where keeping it straight up is always forward, and then you're turning in relative to as if you're facing the direction the car is facing, not the direction you're looking at the screen. I think that's the version we got on the Evercade, and actually I think that's the version I prefer. I don't think I could play it the other way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think this,
I'm frozen.
Yeah, you are frozen. Yeah, I think this way is one of those like preferred as to the hardware you could get. So for sure. And hey, what's going on, Mike? And Frozen Crow, like an album name.
It is weird.
It is weird, yeah, because
it is. It's OBS that's doing it.
Oh. Do you have to like kick OBS?
No. We'll see. Oh, okay. Let me try. I'll figure it out. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. So, so yeah. I mean, I don't know. As far as like, what else the game has to offer? I mean, it's a pretty basic arcade racer, right? Where it's the early top down. So like games like later on games like Micro Machines and like that kind of stuff, right? Kind of like get this feel a little bit, and I actually really like those.
The steering on auto racing is still different than.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because you have to. Yeah, it depends on how far over you're actually going from the center, depending on how hard you're turning, and if you don't really get that, it's so easy to spin out and just crash in this game.
No, indeed.
But taking those corners when you finally realize it, it's so cool just to skid around those turns. That's why I wound up liking this game. I mean, if you go further down the video, I think it's like as I was getting better at the game, and there's like the different cars you choose, they all have different statistics. Some cars are faster, some cars turn faster. So it depends, which color car you choose. Isn't just the color; it's the statistics of the car, the specs of the car.
Yeah, so it looks like this one in the red. When I first went to the video, like you were actually drifting, around the corner. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's why I like this game. It's like you could drift around corners.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Especially the last track. If you played the last track, there's like 90-degree turns. Like, I think even greater than 90-degree turns in that. There's some of them where you have to like drift around like 180-degree turns.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, this one's got some serious drift. Look at that back end.
Yeah.
You're like fanning that thing, which is cool.
And you try not to skid into the grass and slow yourself down, especially not to try to crash into the trees. But and that's just playing this solo. I never even played this with another player. I don't know how that would work out. I think I played this against a computer, and it's just I can't remember. Does the game stop every time somebody gets off the screen, or does it? It's something weird happens. I can't remember now.
Oh, I can't. I don't remember. I don't remember either because
you have to have both cars on the screen simultaneously, and
Yeah.
if somebody gets off, I can't remember if they just automatically teleport ahead of you, and you get a time penalty, or if the game I can't remember now. This one in particular, because I didn't really play it that much with the CPU. If there is even a CPU controlled car, I can't even remember that now. I don't think there is now. But yeah, 2-player, I think. But again, 1-player, all I can speak of is 1-player, and I just like drifting around the corners, and that's why I like this one more than I thought I would.
Yeah. For sure. So, I think that's about it for auto racing. You have anything you want to add, Pete? Other than it was maybe not your most fave.
I don't like it at all. I think
I can see people not liking this. Especially if you don't like try to figure out the controls. Because that's how I was playing the game originally. Because I played this on the original Intellivision. I had the game. I didn't actually figure out the controls at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I give up on this, and I played something else.
Yeah.
Here I actually tried and sat and figured it out, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So, so we have indeed found the post from the Discord. So I'm going to drop into, I guess, polls, because it's like news and polls. And I'm just going to read it because if I share the screen, I think it's going to be too small anyway.
Is it in general?
It is in general. And it's from Ryan. It says, we are completely overhauling the 2600 and 7800 emulation to completely fix all the issues with the Atari 1+2 carts. It fixes stuff like, here's the list, add missing buttons, add difficulty switches where possible, fix gameplay issues, increase accuracy of emulation, improve performance, and fix descriptions and controller layouts. The only negative is that old save states won't work, as we completely overhauled Atari emulation, and since we've done it, the newer, better emulation is desupported from the old memory configuration, and it means it's from the ground up. And then he asks, so I guess this is the poll part, is this a problem? I mean, it's Atari 2600 and 7200 games, ... And then
why do they even need to do that? Like, why are they wasting their time with that? Like, who's screaming for this?
Me,
Pro. Like, one person is screaming for this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
if nobody cares,
there's so many other problems they need to solve software-wise. Like,
these are the original problems. These are the original problems.
Yeah,
there are games that are literally unplayable because they require paddle controls, and
but that's different though. Are they going to be more playable with?
Yes, they will actually be playable.
Oh, come on, I don't agree with that.
Steeplechase is unplayable because you can't control how high the horse jumps.
But how much more playable is it going to make it on a stick? Unless it's the only thing making it more playable,
very playable, because at least with a stick you will be able to control at least 3 different heights.
Maybe, yeah, but I mean, it's still only ever really playable if you have the spinner, the wheel, the actual proper paddle control, right?
Well, that's true, but that didn't stop them from putting trackball games or spinner games and other collections as well.
Yeah, but I think they could solve that. But the software thing, I'm like, they don't have a huge team, so I'm like, I don't know if this is their priority software wise. They hadn't mentioned that, but
yeah,
there's so many other problems. Like the fact that why is the Evercade heating up after 2-3 hours? Like, why is it burning up? Like, there's no reason for that hardware to be that hot with the games being played on it. Like, you're
talking about the OG, the OG or the EXP?
EXP probably.
EXP,
yeah, the EXP. Yeah. Well, I just like, I don't know. It feels really odd that they're doing that. So that tells me we're getting more Atari collections coming really soon.
Well, yeah, I mean that has to be, right. Yeah, why would they overhaul the emulation now?
Yeah, they must have a lot of Atari stuff coming. So that's okay. I just think I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think it's.
But it's funny how they mentioned that they're adding difficulty switches where possible, because I don't know if they realize this, but you have access to the difficulty switches now. Not with the original Evercade, but with the EXP and the VS. the shoulder buttons are controlling the difficulty, and that's why in the original one, when I was hitting the shoulder buttons, it was switching to the more difficult mode, but I wasn't able to switch back. That's because it was mapped to the R2 and L2 buttons, and I didn't realize it until after I was playing on the VS, and I was that's why I could toggle back and forth. It's not just the toggle switch where it's just one button going back and forth. They have it set up where one button switches one way and one button switches the other way.
So yeah, I mean, I guess the only other question to the emulation is if they're doing an overhaul and they're using like a different engine or something like that, are there current engines that can possibly utilize USB spinner or something like that, and maybe they weren't using those, and they're like putting that in, but maybe not mentioning that, oh, by the way, later on there might be something you could use a spinner with, and the old emulator didn't work.
Get a 9-pin adapter to USB, and then you could use your paddle controllers.
Yeah, I mean, there's something.
Well, here's the funny thing. What if the next Atari 2600 collection is actually Activision Atari 2600 games?
I mean, it would be cool. That would be awesome. There's all sorts of people that are looking for it.
What if they're going to include Kaboom? You really need a paddle controller for that game.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but there's 20 other Activision games I'll take before Kaboom.
I mean, it's a number one on your list.
You don't like Kaboom?
Of course, is Pitfall, but
I never said I don't like it. I just said there's 20 other Activision games I take. You know what? I'm really good at auto racing. I've been playing it while you guys were talking.
Yeah.
I just still don't like it though.
It's fair enough. I mean, you could like it, you like it, and you don't like it. So
but I'm like, anyway.
I mean, it seemed to go over pretty well in the Discord.
Blame Europe for the fact that we don't have an Activision collection.
Yeah, you've got. That's true. That's true. So apparently, the options for voting on this particular post were thumbs up, thumbs down, and hot dog. So 14 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down, and 5 hot dog is currently the vote on that.
Our bit there, Crow.
So it looks like at least, it looks like at least people that are in the Discord, they're giving the thumbs up for this overhaul.
They're the most hardcore, right?
Yeah, like why not, right? I mean, I don't know. I just I do want to say I kind of agree with Julian here. Hi, by the way. That he said, like, were there emulation performance issues? I thought that all the games played well. I mean, obviously, except for Steeplechase and some of these games that do rely on the spinner. Everything else. I mean, you could play Asteroids and Centipede and Dark Chambers and all that all day long, and it felt fine to me.
Yeah,
so,
most of the games felt fine to me. Like, I think they were missing, there was a few things like buttons and stuff maybe, but in general, the thing is, see, the audience that buy this collection and buy these cards remember how these play on original stuff, so maybe they're the ones making all the noise. Like me, I think they all play pretty decent. Like, for the most part, like, I didn't expect it to emulate me grabbing my Atari stick, or I should say my Gemini stick, because I never owned an Atari. But
it looks like Dan Nastic follows Riff Tracks.
What?
Yeah.
Because I put nice, and he seconded nice, and I think that's where that emoji came from.
Oh, well, there you go. So now we got live voting happening on this poll.
Where's the poll at?
It's in the general Discord.
It's in general. Yesterday 8:18 a.m.
Yeah, or 9:18 a.m. EST.
Oh, it depends. Something 18 a.m.
Yeah. So it would be 6:18 a.m. I guess for you, right?
How do you get to the poll?
It's just a post.
Here's the thing: is if you go to general, you go to search. I just searched for overhauling because I typed in one of the words you spoke when you were.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
the description
general for overhauling.
And it was that when I typed in overhauling, it was the first thing that popped up.
I hate Discord.
So, but yeah, so we, now we're up to 15 up, 1 down, 6 hot dogs, 2 nice, and a treasure box or a backpack. I don't know which one it is.
I don't know if I should. Intellivision Collection now. I've been playing it for 30 minutes while you guys are playing, just for fun. My Evercade is extremely warm.
Is it really?
My EXP. There's no reason for that to happen.
And
Yeah,
what's
I mean,
funny is if you're holding it as it's getting warm, you don't even really notice it because it's just
it's true.
gradual.
Yeah,
And then you just grab it, it's like,
I don't really notice it getting warm either, but it does happen sometimes.
kind of like this. It's nothing compared to a Steam Deck. Like the Steam Deck, I turn my furnace off when I'm playing my Steam Deck because it's like it spews out hot air, which is
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's at the moment. Well, I mean, they don't technically, I guess, own all that. But yes, it is still held up. What's up with the three?
Okay,
French
you know what?
ones?
I'm starting to enjoy auto racing a little bit more
There you go. See, look, it just takes
because
time.
I'm so good at it now. It's like I gotta enjoy it a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you get better at the game, you start to enjoy drifting around corners.
Yeah,
I haven't done the drifting yet.
Okay.
and I can agree with that, Jason. I do think, like, Blaze doing that with the Atari carts, being, trying to strive for the best experience possible. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, but there's so many other
That's
areas
solid.
the best experience possible still yet to be achieved. So
Sure.
like software features for the VS, like the VS is not on parallel with the EXP yet.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
thought that would have happened by now.
Like, I mean, come on. Like I'm not letting that slide. Like we spent good money on that VS. I want that to have parity with the EXP where possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, and I know that they're working on, like, doing that whole cross.
Yeah. But let's be honest, man.
Cross
It's not like
promoting
they gave
things.
us this for free. We paid a significant amount of money for all these products.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, like I'm not letting them slide on this. I'm like, I want parity. I want software updates. I want bug fixes.
Well, I mean,
not like they gave it to us for free. Like we paid them a lot of money. So
yeah. Well, and I think that's, that stuff. I mean, it's stuff. So most of that stuff's been known to be worked on, right, or working on, right? We're just waiting for the big patches to come through.
like
I think they're working on a whole bunch of
Atari
updates
slide.
right now.
I'm not letting Polymega slide. I'm not letting any company that actually produced a product slide.
Well, I mean, nor should you, right? Like, as a consumer, you always want the best for your products.
Every time I've had a
ecosystem,
problem
right?
with a lot of those systems, except for Polymega, they go dark. Like you don't.
They really do.
I think they're like gophers. Like is it the gopher that hides away until spring and then comes up? That's what Polymega is. Every 3 months they look out. Oh, is it stunning? Just we should talk. And then
well, hopefully that'll be less and less soon. I don't want to turn this into the Polymega cast, but hopefully that will turn like much more vocal in the next couple weeks because of all their recent announcements. So they did say that they're going to be back in another couple weeks, explaining all the stuff with the new things. So let's hope that happens.
But yeah, like I think them trying to fix stuff is really good, but I question where it is in their priority for.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, maybe it doesn't take that much time to fix this. Maybe this was something they were planning for a while before other stuff came up. But honestly, I don't see the problem with resetting save states for the Atari 2600, 700 games, because what's your save state saving? Most likely just high scores.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't concern me. It's like, it's like those games aren't really built for save states, right? They're more they're more just, high score chases, right? For the most part. Like, and even if you do have a game like Adventure or something like that you did save a certain part of it, or Dark Chambers or something like that, it's like, it's easy to get back to that level.
Yeah. For sure.
Is battery performance an issue with the EXP? Yes, it is. It is. I did a study on mine, and I'm averaging less than 4 hours on charge.
I don't think I've played mine for more than an hour straight, so I can't speak to that.
I got 2 hours, and I got in 2 hours, and I was down on 1 pip. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done really long.
I think there's something wrong with the software, like the actual firmware on there, because like she's running hot, and I'm not getting 4+ hours on it. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, and heat generation is the death to batteries and mobile devices too. So, like, if there's a way to kind of lock that down, maybe we get you squeak out a little more time on the device. So
yeah, but
I think maybe it's the power trying to do the display. Maybe the display's running too high.
I don't know what it is. It's just I'm just surprised that a system that plays such old games is running so warm. That's all.
Yeah,
and maybe that's just Like, because our original Evercade did not run hot at all.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Maybe it's the fact that they switched to a push button turn on instead of a switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's just I feel like
Okay.
like she's really warm on the cart. Like the top of my cart is really warm.
Yeah.
Like in the device, it's like warm.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess we got to wait and see what happens with all that stuff. So
we should do a postmortem on the EXP after they can get a chance to get some software, because they haven't done really any major software updates to it, right?
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, that's what we're waiting for, right? The reason why like Ryan and team went dark is because they were like, oh, hey, here's the CXP. Yeah, we have all the logistics things going on with the LEs, but also I'm in the dungeon doing all of the things, and it's been pretty quiet as far as that kind of stuff goes. So we'll see.
They hammered out some really quick fixes before Christmas, right? To fix a bunch of stuff.
Just like some so that there were like little short fixes, but I think there's something bigger coming.
I want a feature roadmap.
That'd be kind of cool.
I want like a feature roadmap. Like, this is when we're going to do some stability fixes. This is when we're going to do small feature update, stuff like that. Ballistic Halfway 4 hours. I'm okay with anything around 3 hours, to be honest with you personally, but that's purely subjective on my part. Like 3 hours is fine for me because I don't really. I can't see myself sitting down playing it more than 3 hours straight, except if I'm doing a live stream, and then I can just plug the USB-C in. Like
well, the OG was around that too. So
again, like when I did my review, like I was thinking, like I didn't really do a full battery test, but I did it afterwards, and I'm averaging anywhere between 3 and 4, depending on the cart too. I find when I put my PlayStation, like a game with a PlayStation in, I play like the soccer or something like that. I feel like I'm not getting 4 hours. I feel like I'm getting like closer to 3. But I've not finished all my testing on it yet. It just takes time, right? And Guild Wars is there, so I haven't had an opportunity to play it.
Indeed.
I'm hoping Crow will do an official one.
An official.
I mean, these are the two biggest problems I have with it. Put it in perspective. Battery length. I'm surprised, and the heat that surprised me. But overall, I still love my EXP. Like I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah. Well, for sure. Well,
I don't use Saute mode nearly as much as I thought I was going to use.
Yeah. Well, I if I'm home, I'm always using the VS just because I could use an arcade stick or any other gamepad for that matter.
But I don't know, guys. Like, I know we're going to get back to Intellivision, but this is interesting. I love the convenience of the Capcom collection. As I get older, I think I'm like, I just want all my games there. I don't want to be looking for carts anymore. I just feel like I'm an old grumpy dude.
I actually like the fact that they're in there. No matter what collection, no matter what you take with you, you always have those with you,
dude.
And it's cool because they're like a mainstay collection too, right? They're games that you like that really hit you right in the childhood. So like that's like most people that have these devices are like when you look at that device and you're like, oh well, if you could take any one of these collections and have them embedded into your Evercade EXP, I mean, Capcom probably would be at least in my top 5.
Oh my god, it's the collection I play the most because it's there.
Right.
See, I don't even think I'm gonna make a video though on the Capcom collection because it's not something you could actually buy separately.
Yeah,
I don't think I have any XP for it. Yeah,
and I don't even think, and I don't think it's somebody's gonna buy the EXP just because it has the Capcom collection on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, as far as we're concerned here, like Evercast wise, I would advocate for at least having a chat about the games because just the games are cool.
Oh yeah, so I'm doing a video.
I would want to talk about them for sure.
I've done a video on the first 6 or 7, so I'm going to do a video on my channel, and then I'm put them all together as one. But like, somebody was it you, Crow, say anybody buying it just for the Capcom collection? I think you've got too much money if you're buying the EXP just because the Capcom.
And really, I guess part of it though is I don't want to do it because that means I have to play all the way through Breath of Fire before I can talk about it.
That's a strong.
Okay, I actually did start playing it though. But,
dude, I'm 12 hours into Breath of Fire. It is the grind is real.
And I like grinding, but it's just
it is a very severe grind game. It's fun, but it's grindy. Like I forgot. Well, I didn't forget because I never really played those games back in the day. But it is grind fest.
Yeah.
For me, I kept couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go. I was actually out, and I was like in a waiting room. That's why I brought it with me. And I kept going up and down from town to town. I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go. I finally just gave up. I looked on my phone, like, what am I supposed to do? And it turns out, oh, I have to wait for night before I enter the town. I didn't know that was a thing in the game.
Right. So I got there's a comment up here. Oh, here it is.
I'm
Crimson
just gonna
Cross.
go top my coffee up. Be right back, Rich.
All right, cool. Crimson Cross with the perfect segue comment. Thank you, my friend. Cloudy Mountain is really fun. I'm so glad we got the game, and I recall Ever Canadian highly talking about it before we got it. So we'll have to wait for his opinion when he comes back from his coffee break. But let's segue back in to talking some Intellivision 2 with, indeed, that very game, Cloudy Mountain.
Wait a minute. If you rewind a little bit, did it just say adventure on the title screen?
It sure did.
Why didn't I notice that before?
Yeah, it's so weird. Well, I mean, this goes by many, many names, right? It's Cloudy Mountain. It's Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. It's just Dungeons and Dragons.
Maybe that's why they changed it to adventure, because they were changing the word advanced to, and it's, I don't know. Maybe that has something.
It could have been. It could have been. TSR back in the day was ruthless with that kind of stuff. So, and of course now it's all owned by Wizards. So if you want to call something D&D, you got to pay them the monies. So.
Yeah, and this is where those cards that you get with
Where's the
this is the game where it's like I'm glad they included those cards, because
yes.
I've played the game before, but I never really understood the game before. But those cards help me understand the game, and then it's the kind of thing where it's not that complicated. So once you have played it a couple times with the cards, you don't need them anymore, because you remember what everything means. It's not
right. Yeah, you learn the world, right? Yeah. I mean, it is really, really cool, and I like the fact that like as they were designing the game, it's kind of neat that they had like built-in level select in the map, right? Like it's kind of cool that they were even thinking about those things back then. So it's really neat.
But it's nice to know, like, the color mountain determines what kind of object you'll find in it. Right. And how difficult it is. Otherwise, you just might be going randomly, not understanding why you're not finding the objects you need.
Right. Exactly. Well, so so I guess because
you started Cloudy Mountain without me, how dare you?
we had the perfect segue comment. I'm going to pull it back up for you. It was Crimson Cross. It says Cloudy Mountain's really fun. I'm so glad we got the game, and I recall the Ever Canadian highly talking about it before we got it, which is true.
Dude, I've been playing this game for seems like 40 years.
Yeah, man.
This is an amazing game. I love this game. This is one of the greatest games of the generation, in my opinion.
I'll agree with that.
It's awesome. It is a really cool game.
It's challenging. It has different levels of challenge. It's fun. It's atmospheric. If they had music at that time, if they had a little bit of music, like this game.
This is where you pop a mixtape into your cassette player and listen to it while you play. Or you turn on the FM radio.
Yeah.
Right?
This game influenced Diablo, man. One of my favorite franchises ever. Like, influenced the creators of that. Like, this game and a bunch of others of this generation, like Adventure and stuff like that. This is the birth of the action RPG in my mind.
Yep.
Hey, I just had an idea. The next Evercade 3.0, have a built-in FM tuner, so you can listen to the radio while you play.
I'm down with that. I still listen.
That would be kind of neat.
But this game is hard. Read the manual. Like, I have this complete in box. Like, this is I just love this game. Each dungeon color is a different difficulty. Like, it's just fun and it's quick. You can finish the game in like less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so fun and fast. And the fact that there was going to be a remake of this kind of breaks my heart. I'll never get to play it, but yeah. Hopefully somebody, like, I literally, if I had a lot of money, which I don't, I would pay someone to make me a Cloudy Mountain. Actually, you know what? That game I made on a Playdate was influenced by that. Maybe I'll make my own Cloudy Mountain.
Hey man, you need some help testing whatever in that endeavor, man. You just let me know, man.
I'm gonna make my own Cloudy Mountain. I'm gonna.
You can make your own knockoff and call it Hazy Mountain.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm gonna make my own Cloudy Mountain. Anyway, I've talked enough about it, but I absolutely love this game. Like,
yeah, we got to talk offline, Pete, about this.
yeah, I'm gonna make my own. Because I can make, like, once I can get a game engine, I'll make a game. Like, I made a Playdate game, which was, I think, fairly fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, if I had a Playdate,
no, because he hasn't bought a Playdate yet, but
well, yeah.
I'll let other people talk about this now.
Even if I had bought a Playdate, I still wouldn't have it by now.
No, that's true.
That's true. You're gonna call it Rowdy Fountain.
Rowdy Fountain, nice.
Yeah.
Like,
is it? So this is a question. Is the goal just to walk through every part of the dungeon?
Yeah, you gotta exit the dungeon on your way to the mountain to Cloudy Mountain.
Not necessarily. You just have to get through the mountain. You just have to really find the exits to the mountains. But but you also should find the objects you need to proceed through the game as well.
I don't want to spoil it because don't spoil it for people because it's not the most in-depth game.
It's not. That's why I was saying when you were gone. It's like they included
cross
those
the river
cards
or stuff like that.
They included those cards so beginners will know what things mean. But once you played a couple times, you don't need those cards anymore.
No. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just so fun. It's such a fun game.
It really is. And this one, I mean, back in the day, I didn't have a lot of like the books and the inserts and all that kind of stuff, but my uncle did have that cart, and it was just something about it that I would just sit there, and just randomly go in and run around. And it didn't even matter to me whether or not I was winning, losing, doing whatever. I just loved running around and just grabbing what I could and moving on.
Back in the day, the only people I knew that had an Intellivision were my grandparents, and I don't remember them having this game.
Yeah, it sucked because the first time I played this on a black and white TV, yes, kids out there, they were black and white TVs. Most of us had them.
That's why the Atari 2600 had a black and white switch.
I could never tell the difference between Easy and Hard Mountain because their shade is the same color.
Yeah.
So I'd be going into the mountain. I'm like, this is going to be, oh my God, it's the hardest mountain to go through. I'm like,
right.
Oh, that would be a more difficult mode. Just make all the mountains the same color. You don't know what.
Oh man, that'd be brutal.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I shot all my arrows when I shouldn't have, and I'm like, I'm taking extra arrows. I'm like, I need my arrows. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you can talk about this, but these are the games I just want people to go play and discover. I don't want to really talk too much more about it because because that's why I love it.
Do you think that if there was a game to show, I don't know, what would be quote unquote like the soul of a console, would this be one of those for the Intellivision?
Yes,
I would say it's up there for sure. It's up there with Night Stalker, Astro Smash. For me.
You know what's funny is I would throw auto racing in with that too. I don't know why.
I guess
I would too.
Bowling definitely would be one.
Now that one I don't know. I've never played bowling, so
it's cool. I don't really like it that much, but it's considered one of the greatest bowling games of that era. But yeah,
it can't be better than the Atari 2600 bowling.
You know what? I'm partial to everything 2600 because
that guy does that guy flashes and he jumps when he gets
a
strike. That's the best.
Pinball.
Yeah, you get the strike and he's like, where?
Yeah, exactly. I love that game just for that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's yeah. I mean, I know aesthetically there are people out there that are like, no, Intellivision bowling is so much better because it actually kind of gets into the roots of how the game is played. And it feels better and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, man, you don't have the guy.
and if you don't have the game mode where you can steer the bowling ball.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. There's so many great games, man. Like Thunder Castle. Almost all of the iMagic games are amazing.
What about Trucking?
I know Trucking not so much, but
okay.
Trucking is just the core one. The 124, 128, whatever number you agree is the original set. I mean, like Cloudy Mountain. It's for me. It's my favorite Intellivision game of all time.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to pick a favorite, I guess that list would get a little muddy for me. On
because I like certain ones too. Like Night Stalker is probably out of I prefer Astro Smash over Night Stalker. when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I really like Night Stalker too. Like, it's
Night Stalker's awesome. I mean, well, so Night Stalker gives me a lot of feels like, so one of my favorite Atari 2600 games of all time is Berserk. And Night Stalker feels like Berserk. So I'm like, okay, well, this, like you already get.
I would argue Berserk is a better game.
Well, the thing
I would agree that Berserk is a better game.
Berserk's a better game also.
Both games, Astro Smash and Night Stalker, they both take a while before they start to really ramp up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. For sure.
Like Night Stalker is good. I prefer the Atari 2600 version of Night Stalker.
Oh yeah.
It controls better.
What the heck is the Envision title or the M Network title?
Yeah,
it's not Night Stalker. What is it?
Is it Dark Caverns?
Dark Caverns.
Yeah.
It plays better because it's stick. You're shooting in the direction you're pointing with the stick. It's a better control scheme for me. But again, I grew up with the Gemini, which was the Atari 2600 clone, so I just naturally like those control methods better. Like Intellivision's it's obtuse, a lot of their control decisions.
Yeah,
there's no way around it. It's like obtuse. They over designed a lot of it, but the people who grew up with it love it because that's the only thing they knew.
Mm-hmm.
But people who were like somebody who only ever had an Atari 2600 would struggle with Intellivision. Not so much with Coleco. Coleco kind of had the nice marriage of both control schemes.
Yeah,
but yeah, they would struggle with it, and that's a fair criticism.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, so
the color of the mountain.
Yeah, and this game, I think when it launched, it was like $39. Man, there's a lot of content in this game for $39. There's a lot of mountains to explore.
Absolutely. Well, I think Nick specifically was like, well, what in the level makes it harder? Is it more enemies?
Oh, it's more. Yeah, it's harder monsters. And,
the monsters need more hits and stuff.
Yeah.
And this game's got 3 revisions too, right?
Yes.
So there's 3 revisions of this game, 3 different, and they have minor changes to the monster density and stuff like that. So there's Cloudy Mountain was the last name, I think. No, was Cloudy Mountain the last name put on it?
I think so.
Dungeon Dragons was the first name.
Oh, yes, different names.
Yeah, it was Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and then
they have different small differences. So I have all the Intellivision collections on like Xbox, PlayStation, all the consoles. There's a couple different versions on there. They're minor, really minor. I think someone like Pete or DJC would be able to articulate that better than me.
That reminds me, a weird thing about this game. The real name of the game, the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I think it ends in cartridge. I think cartridge is actually part of the official name of the original game.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 Dungeons and Dragons, right? This one and the second one, which is a dungeon crawl, which is really fun too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is on this collection, I think, or this first collection.
Which one?
The second part.
Treasures.
Do we have that second one?
I don't think Treasures is on the first one. I don't think.
I thought we have it on one. Yeah,
we have Tower of Doom.
No, we have it. Don't we have both?
I don't think Tarman is on this collection.
No, Treasure of Tarman isn't on either collection. It's
no,
the one of Dungeons and Dragon games that is not on the Evercade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
why didn't I get that on there?
There's not a lot of INTV that isn't third party left outside of these collections. But if we were able to get that, Tarman has to be on that. If there was a third collection, we'd have to have Tarman on it.
Yeah,
just to kind of complete the cycle.
Crow, you searching for arrows now, Crow?
Oh, I'm not looking at the screen. I don't probably. The other thing was I didn't even realize is that you could tell how many arrows you have by pushing a button, and it would click, and that clicks is how many arrows you have. That took me a while to realize.
Yeah. Well, in Bilby, you're right. ColecoVision would be hard to do because of the fact that all of those games are licensed to them for other reasons.
Yeah, it's a licensing mess. They looked into it. I know Andrew said they looked into it a couple of years ago, and they thought they had a good idea of what they were going to do with it, but then the licensing was just a nightmare.
Yeah. So Cloudy Mountain is also, I think, in the thing to bring it back towards the Evercade and its collection. Cloudy Mountain is one of those that you pick this up for, in my opinion. It's like, if you were looking for a reason to grab Intellivision Collection 2, this game in and of itself is one of those ones that I would say could stand alone to say, yes, I can, this game can promote the cartridge well. And it's a good time. I really like it. So, but so let's go and move to another one. And I think Crow, you're right. Yeah, it's one of those things where you think you're going to get through things fast, but
I don't know why we promised like 6 or 5.
Let's try to do 6, and then we're going to get
2 at most, and then maybe more.
Yeah. So like let's see if we can do let's see if we can do one more. Let's get into Hover Force real quick, and then we'll do that because we're just under the hour, so we can get in there. So let's get into Hover Force. This one's a wild one. For me, it's one of those cool things where all the late INTV core games, this and Spiker and the Super Pros and all that kind of stuff. To me, it's them saying, all right, well, we know this is kind of like wrapping up, but we can probably push this hardware into doing all sorts of crazy things no one would expect this thing to be able to do. Let's just do that. And then like you get games like this. I think that's
the reason the way this game turned out the way it did is because it was originally concepted to be a 3D game. It was supposed to be a 3D something 3-dimensional for the Intellivision that never came out. So when that got scrapped, they decided to retool the game. This was after Mattel didn't have the Intellivision stuff anymore, and it was actually INTV. So they decided to tweak the game to actually just be playable on the base console itself, which is why, and you can see where this would have been a 3D game because you're looking up above the city. You've got the helicopters at different levels. But yeah, it's interesting. It's also kind of interesting to be like a helicopter firing down on other helicopters. It's kind of
it is kind of weird to be doing that, and also like it's these poor people in this city. Like as you miss, you can like actually you're putting holes in the buildings, and like it's not like things are actually going pleasantly for whoever is in the city.
That's the other interesting thing is not only do you have the guns, but you have like a water cannon that you could use to put out fires.
Yeah. Most of them that you're probably creating yourself.
Well, I don't think you can create that kind of damage yourself, but the other helicopters do.
Sure, of course. But I mean, like, every time you miss one of those, like, what is it, rockets or whatever, you're like, realistically, I mean, you're just laying waste as much as they are every time you miss. So
there's something I can't remember exactly because it's been a while since I played this one, but the switching back and forth between the menu and this screen, I didn't really like it because actually what I remember now is like, oh, you look at the map and you're like, oh, the enemy helicopter's over here. So you go to fly over there and then you like have to switch back to look for it. And then when you switch back to the map, oh, it's not there anymore. It's over here. So it seems in some instances you have to kind of go to where the helicopter is going and not where it is. And sometimes it can be tough to predict.
That's true.
You kind of have to observe the pattern that they're making before you can intercept them. But that's why on the radar screen, now I remember what it was. The sweeping action is pretty cool where it has the blippings come up. But the problem is like, it's kind of slow. So like if it blips one time, you start to go over there and then the next blip is like somewhere totally different. It's like, I kind of wish it would just like have permanently showed where things were on the map because it makes it harder. It makes it way harder to figure out where things are going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they were trying to like, I don't know, try to do this whole thing like it's like rendering where the locations are, all these things like in pseudo real time, and they're trying to make it as realistic as possible. So
I think they just made that too realistic. Like
I mean, like to the point of annoyance, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this game is cool, and again, it's like I really do think that it lends to this console could really do things that you just don't think that it's possible to do.
Well, it had a 16-bit processor.
Yeah, Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people, you said, well, when people say that, they're like, oh, well, it's not really a 16-bit browser. Well,
Well, the whole bit worth thing is all marketing anyway.
Right. Exactly. So it's like, I mean, it's capable of doing like these really cool things. I just think it's neat that they, even though it was late in the generation, and even though it was way, way far, it was like, there were these engineers that took this and ran with it, and that there was a caretaker at that point that kind of like encouraged them to do those things. So, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, right? I mean, we're probably going to get to one in a week or two that I really, really, really want to like, and it's not. It misses the mark, but it's they tried. So, what about you, P? What do you think about Hover Force?
I liked it. I thought it was an interesting kind of take on the game, like just game. The fact that it ran on the Intellivision, I was really impressed with. Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, is it a standout or anything like that for me? No, probably not. But I really enjoyed it.
I like the pilot's thumb up though. That's the best.
Yeah.
But I mean, it comes on a cart with Cloudy Mountains, so I'm not really going to be playing this very much.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'm kind of just trying to beat my times in Cloudy Mountain, and just continue to play that a lot. So plus, there's other games on this collection that I really like too, right? Like Tower of Doom's on it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I can't. I think I've had my fill of this game. All as much as I played it.
I actually prefer like Shark Shop too, like with the kind of mini games. I like that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't wait till we get to that one because it's one of those games where in my opinion, a lot of people look at that and they're like, oh, well, that's just the throwaway one, and
it's a
like,
pure money grab on Intellivision's part, but
it is, but it's so much fun.
So much just mechanics from all their top games.
Yeah, just so much pure fun to play. It's like, oh, anyway, I can't wait till we get to that one.
This one here that needs an actual like a guide, a strategy guide, like a guide on like how you should go about doing it and order and stuff. In my mind.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it's in the same vein, Nick. I mean, I remember being in Sears and Macy's back, when I was a young buck kid, seeing just piles and piles of Intellivision and Atari games just in clearance bins. And in fact, actually, that's how I got most of my new games, because they were so darn cheap that I just point to the box and be like, hey, can we just grab this one? And they're like, oh, it's $1 or $2 or whatever. And yeah, sure.
I just had that recently with about 10 years ago. That's almost 10 years ago, maybe 7 or 8. Maybe that's how I got my Vita collection, pretty much.
Yeah,
they were just selling them for nothing.
Yeah. I think
I bought Vita games for like $5 a game Canadian.
That pains me because you can't even grab them anymore.
That's funny because with the Vita, the prices dropped, and then in a short amount of time they increased so much. So there was a short window to get them cheap before people started to collect them, and the prices shot up again.
Yeah. Well, it's actually part of the reason why Jaguar's so hard to emulate, Andreas, is yes. Someone did say that it wasn't really 64-bit, just two 30-bit, 32-bit co-processors.
Hey, you got to do the math.
Yeah. Atari could
exactly. But yeah, no, that's true. That they did have like that co-processor thing going on in that thing. I mean, it wasn't that it was like not more powerful than the things that were around it at the time. It was. It just when Atari went to them, they were like, "Hey, how about you program for this thing?" And a lot of people looked at it and wait, what? What is it?
Like, man, Atari couldn't even program properly for it.
Yeah.
I like how the two processors' names were Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Is it worth Blaze trying to get a Virtual Boy cartridge from Nintendo? I mean, I mean, like, it was like, how about just getting Nintendo from Nintendo?
Why would you want Virtual Boy?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna ever happen because they're so tight knit in their own, like their own ecosystem. They don't want anyone coming around their yard. But I mean, the weird thing was, so I heard an argument, not an argument, but somebody like put a post somewhere or on Twitter. I can't remember where I saw this thing, but someone was saying, that Nintendo, and they made a good point. Nintendo kind of like doesn't really do a lot with their handheld stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They just put it on Switch, and you can play the games on Switch or whatever, and that's fine. But that's kind of like what they do. They're like, oh yeah, we dusted off the shelf and found some Game Boy stuff here, and then they walk away for years before they ever talk about it again. I mean, that would be kind of cool, if they were like, well, somebody else wants to pay us money to put these collections somewhere else. Well, we don't care because we're getting money. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
No, they're too much in control of their own stuff, so they're not gonna.
Well, that's true, but also, like, again, why not? Right?
They're not gonna. No, well, they're not gonna do it just for money.
Yeah. So. I guess that's right. Collections, he says. Well, yeah, I mean they did announce that there was going to be Amiga collections, because we gotta get more than one of these blue things, right? We're getting another one next month or in April. But yeah, we're gonna get another one of these blue guys.
I am kind of surprised
right? To have collections.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising to me that the next one is another Commodore 64 one and not something else. But at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. It's like they had too many Epics and UIT games to choose from. So let's just make it 2 different collections. And then instead of spreading them out, they put them right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, old carts. Well, I mean, all my old carts work. Yeah, that's good. I mean, obviously, if we're talking about, like, don't put your carts in, like, a hot car or something, or leave them outside.
Yeah, that's just common sense.
Yeah, I mean, you keep them in their nice little cool, calm, and collected areas, and they'll be fine. But yeah. So wrapping up, Hoverforce. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see it, and it's cool to see, like, the experimentation of Intellivision, and I think its inclusion on a collection like this actually it melds well with the Evercade curation kind of thing. Like, because you don't see a lot of games like this in other places, and sometimes it's them saying, hey, look, there were these games that were like out and crazy and wild, and check them out, and that's pretty neat. So so that's it for Intellivision Collection 2. Let's even hang out for another couple minutes if anyone has any, like, questions or anything like that.
Ryan just said you can't spill the beans, but there's mass updates for all devices soon, and more updates for EXP soon after that.
Nice.
But soon is a relative soon.
Yeah.
Is it soon tomorrow? Is it soon 3 months from now? Is it soon December?
Exactly. What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's soon as in, I don't know.
Hey,
I don't
Ryan,
know. I wouldn't use words as strong as imminent, but like soon.
Have
is
you
probably
solved
good.
the warming of the EXP issue? Why that's happening?
It's happening because it's winter right now. People need to keep their hands warm.
They just wanted people to stay warm in the winter.
Yeah.
They were just
they'll fix it. It'll be nice and cool for the summer.
Yeah. Put some pressure to get some BBC micro collections, including bangers like Daredevil, Dennis, and of course Elite. That would be kind of cool. Why not? Right? Oh, see, he says very, very soon.
Oh, so an hour from now.
That's
1 hour.
So that's another like, instead of just soon, it's not even very soon. It's very,
it's
very
too soon.
So what's up with that?
But it's not very, very, very soon.
No, it's not. It's not. So soon is relative to the heat of the universe. Come on, RMGB TV. That's like we're just piling on this poor guy. Oh my goodness. Oh, 0 points talking about cards corrupting. I mean, flash memory is flash memory, right? Like, sometimes things happen.
I've been really lucky not
just
to have that.
Just like things happen to, like, some of my old carts. I mean, it's what happens. This is the nature of the silicone beast. Is my thing there. But I mean, I've had carts since the very beginning of all of this stuff, and like I could put them in and then they work. And then
my biggest problem with carts was they were too fat for the EXP.
I will say I have had carts corrupt, but I won't get into it. But I know how to fix them, And
Yes, yes, you
yes. Yeah, that is on the.
and it's not something anybody can do.
No. Well, yeah, no. You had some mad scientist stuff, going on. So, but yeah, so that's pretty good stuff. Where's Mad Ed? I guess you weren't here in the beginning. He's out on some family stuff, but we
force retired him.
Yeah, he tapped the soldier and he'd be like, "Hey, can you host for me?" And I'm like, "Well, you've done it for me, so of course, brother, I would do it for you. It's all good." So was it no?
What's gelding?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where you dip something in that.
If you ever had issues, you can need a moment. Yeah, of course. Support's always there. They'll take care of you.
Yeah, man, support's awesome. Evercade support, amazing.
Yeah, we're working on new features around that area. Cool. I mean, it's specifically about like the cart longevity stuff. That's awesome. That's neat. Good times. So that is regenerating into Kill-10.
Yeah, he'll look completely different when he comes back.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's almost
Nick the Toy Collector. Best and worst video game movies.
Oh,
Best.
No. Wait. This is the whole topic. You don't have time for topics.
Yeah, I am. God, jeez.
I mean, Wreck-It Ralph is a great video game movie if you consider it a video game.
It's not a video game. It's a movie about video games, but it's not based on a video game.
Yeah.
Actually, here, does it count if they made a video game after the movie? Because there is an arcade Fix-It. There is a real Fix-It Felix game.
Yes, yeah. Fix-It Felix Jr. Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. So,
I think a video game movie doesn't necessarily have to be on a specific video game as long as it has video game characters in it. I think.
Yeah, I guess
even if they're made up for the movie, I think I would count that as a video game movie.
I mean, I fell into the rabbit hole of looking at the Super Mario Brothers movie stuff, the tangential stuff, the website, and the text messages you can send, and the phone number you can call, and all that. And I gotta say, I haven't been hyped about a video game related property on a screen almost ever, except for Uncharted, because I love Uncharted, and it was okay. It was good.
Yeah, that's a nice video game movie.
But
Wait, they made an Uncharted movie?
Yeah,
with Mark Wahlberg and Spider-Man.
Mark Wahlberg and Spider-Man. Tom
Holland.
That's right, they did. That completely erased from my memory.
And they did the scene. They did the scene from Uncharted 3, and I'm like, that's all I want.
Yeah,
I think what it was is like, I was like, Tom Holland? He's not old.
I know.
He doesn't look anything like Nathan Drake.
Nathan Fillion. They missed.
Well, I mean, they had that cameo that ribbed all the fans, right?
Oh yeah. That was Nolan North.
Yeah.
But even they should have had Nathan Fillion as the actor for for Drake, but they missed it by about 10 years.
They did. Now. Yeah. Well, I mean, but that would have been awesome, because Uncharted 3 is almost 10 years old, and if they were going to do it and they did it then, that would have been awesome.
But they did the typical movies and say, who's the top young actor out there? Oh, Tom Holland. Who's another big powerhouse actor? Mark Wahlberg. All right, let's make them.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that's right, Nathan and Sully. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It was okay. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I think
in the realm of video game movies, it's probably one of the best. Yeah, there's not a lot of good video game movies.
No, well, I mean, I'm telling you though, I'm
more
than cautiously optimistic about the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm like, I'm to the point where I'm almost hype about it. So,
well, that's based on Mario Kart, right?
It's based on like a lot of things.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
Like video game movie, it's got to be based on a video game. So Uncharted is based on the Uncharted video game.
Yes.
Well, three of them. So I guess Super Mario's in that realm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Super Mario's everywhere, right? It could be. I'm sure they're gonna pull elements from all of his like appearances in all of these things. There'll be like a Mario Party reference. I'm sure. There'll be like a Mario Sports reference. Like a kart, of course, because it's in there already, and all that.
I think the first Mortal Kombat was pretty much purely based on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Well, the original one was actually pretty good. The original Mortal Kombat movie, that was pretty decent.
Street Fighter sucked with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But oddly enough, both of those movies are on riff tracks.
Huh. Oh, wow. That's a neat little tidbit. that Wahlberg was actually going to be Nathan Drake, but it was dev hell for so long.
Which he would have been just awful
to put Holland in.
Yeah, no, I mean, it should have been Nathan Fillion or an unknown, because either it's just Tom Holland is Spider-Man and Mark Wahlberg is Marky Mark. Like, they can't be Nathan Drake.
Yeah. Also, hi, Sean. What's up? Oh, wait. We have some Master System games on the system. We have some brand new systems coming soon for the Evercade. Oh, you got my heart. Like, just like, wait, there's more Master System games coming, and you're like, no, some new brand new systems. I'm like, okay. I'm cool. I'm excited for brand new systems, which is also
TurboGrafx games. That's what I'm.
Or like, you know, maybe some of this. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, right? Well, Neo Geo Pocket action, why not? But yeah, I mean, if you can get some Master System games in there, you know, 0 Point knows what's up. I'll play it again. I'll play it again on the handheld. Why not? Let's go. And that'd be cool if the cases were designed in the Master System case too, but that's not going to happen because then you're doing stuff just for systems, and that's
kind of
it's got to be the maroon, you know. So yeah, nice quote there. So all right, cool. So let's get into final thoughts. Does anyone have anything that you want to, you know, slide on out there for the good of the peoples?
All right. I am I'm one game away from finishing the Irem Arcade 1.
Nice.
And then I can make a video for that and start on Total Plan Arcade 1. The issue is that Pinball FX has officially been released, and I started working on videos for that as well. So I'm also in the process of making a video for the Addams Family table. So
that's cool.
I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between a couple things. So it's not, it might not be a while before that videos for Irem Arcade 1 is out.
Got it. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for it because those are always fun and filled with awesome tidbits as per Crow's usual arrangement, I'm sure. So Pete, what do you got going on?
Yeah. Oh, Johnny. Same usual. I'm doing got tons of content coming. Nice. I won't be on the Evercast next week, so but yeah, no, lots of stuff around Evercade and Steam Deck and all that wonderful. Oh, I got a couple Playdate videos coming out because I finally found a couple games that I wanted to try, so they'll be coming out in the next couple weeks. So yeah, tons of normal stuff over on the channel. Very cool. Over here on the bacon ice cream side of things, over on my channel, I should say, because we're on the Evercade Effect. There's been let's run his channel before we leave. Yeah, it's been a lot of Atari VCS stuff going on because they just keep dropping games, so I keep playing them. That's pretty cool.
I forget, is that sale still going on? I kind of forgot all about that. They had a sale going on.
They had the 40% flash sale for President's Day. I think it ended on Friday.
What sale? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just the Atari, the VCS store had games for sale.
Oh, they had a sale.
Yeah, on the hardware stuff, not on the games.
Yeah. It wasn't on the games. I thought it was on the games, and I was gonna check, and I never did.
Yeah. Maybe there was the previous month or something like that, but there's no sales on games right now. But they do have the two new ones. There's Aka R. Well, there's Residual that came out the Friday previous. Then there's Aka R that came out on Tuesday, and then they dropped another one on Friday, A Path to the Princess, which is like one of those small puzzler kind of things. And I played that yesterday. It was pretty good. I think I got stuck on level 11, and then Musgrave came over and said, "Hey, what's up? Here's the just dropped the solution right in the chat in the comment section." So that was pretty good. So I'll have to go and double check his homework to make sure I can get through that level and do it and go through and finish it because I love games like that. And it was cheap. I mean, the Path to the Princess was like $3.99 or something like that. So very cool. And then of course on Calling All Retro Gamers, as per the usual Saturday arrangement, there will be another episode of the One Credit Quick Look. It's actually dropping at 1 p.m. today, so it's just a little bit over a half hour away over there. And we're playing Mikey, the very strange Konami game that it's just all sorts of weird. So if you want to see some weird stuff, go on over there.
I don't even know if I've ever figured out how to play that game.
It's weird. I figured it out towards the end.
That's
of
the
that one
where
credit.
he's in the school, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You have to like knock people off their chairs and steal
Yeah.
hearts, and the professor's chasing you around. You headbutt them. It's weird. It's very strange. But yeah. Hopefully everyone will go over there and check that one out. It's pretty hilarious. And then and we just had our live show this Thursday, so no show this week. But we were doing some Golden Axe Warrior on Karg, and I was trying desperately to get through Dungeon 9, and I just couldn't make it before the end of the show. But I did get the item that is required, so I should be having one straight shot because I just filled up all of my hearts and the magic potions and all that. So I should be one straight shot to the boss, shoot him a whole bunch of times with the lightning, and then get on out of there to go to Dungeon 10 and then finally finish that game, because that'd be awesome. So anyway, that's all that. And then over here, well, Ed's not here, but be back on Wednesday because he has a video every Wednesday that drops on this channel. So make sure you're hitting all the likes and the subscribes and all that fun stuff for that. So thanks to everyone for chatting with us and hanging out with us. It's always a great time to have everyone there. Chat was awesome. I see everyone starting to talk about like Mega CD coming to Evercade. You guys got to stop.
That would be
stop getting me started on stuff. I mean, it's awesome. I would totally do it though.
Night Trap on the Evercade.
Yeah. No, man. As soon as you say Mega CD, Sega CD, I'm going straight to, come on. Someone go find Victor Ireland under that rock and go get those original Sega CD licenses for working designs. Let's go. There it is. There he is, right there. Let's try the Sea of Stars demo. If you can, it gave me working design. I will find that game. Now that we have that highlight, I will find it because yes, I want all of the working designs vibes. And I just found, literally right before the show, I found something on Master System. I know it's a custom thing, but I found it on Master System that is working designs and Luna related, and it made my jaw just go, what? So keep your eyes peeled on that. Anyway, so with all that being said, thanks again for watching the Evercast, and we will see you next week.
Bye,
right here
everybody. See you
on the
later.
Evercade Effect. See you guys.